Humanoid robotics. What does it mean? As the name suggests, a robot with its overall appearance based on that of human body. There are of two types, androids and gynoids. Androids resemble male humans and gynoids resemble female humans. One of the earliest form of humanoid was created in 1495 by Leonardo da Vinci, which was an armor suit and it could perform a lot of human functions like sitting, standing, walking. Humanoid robots can move, talk, and carry out actions through certain features such as sensors and actuators. Thus, humanoid robotics is an emerging and challenging field with the ambitious goal humanoid robots, which are expected to serve as companions and assistants for humans in daily life. The question which here arises is, why do we need them? The answer to this lies in our goal that we expect them to be the ultimate helpers in man-made and natural disasters. Currently, they are being used as research tools in several scientific areas. Researchers study human body structure and behavior, biomechanics, to build humanoid robots. Before discussing the two famous humanoid robots that are Sophia and Manav, let's first consider the misconceptions regarding humanoid robots. The first one being, are humans humanoid? No, humans are not humanoids. A humanoid is something that has an appearance resembling a human without being one. Humanoids look like humans, but do they think like humans? For that, a Turing test is conducted. So what is a Turing test? It is a method of inquiry in artificial intelligence for detecting whether or not a computer is capable of thinking like a human being. Who has passed the Turing test? A computer program called Eugene Goostman, which simulates a 13-year-old Ukrainian boy, is said to have passed the Turing test at an event organized by University of Reading. Can Siri pass the Turing test? Probably not. Siri would have to be able to convincingly carry out a conversation with the subject and be able to generate its own thoughts. Then only it would be passing the Turing test.
The Turing test, created by pioneer computer scientist Alan Turing, comes up a lot in sci-fi culture and discussions about intelligent robots. But what exactly is the Turing test, and what does it mean if a computer passes it? Alan Turing first described what we call the Turing test in a 1950 paper, Computing Machinery and Intelligence. Turing wanted to answer questions: can machines think like humans? To get to the bottom of this, he devised a game. Imagine a game with three players. One player is the interrogator, which is isolated from the other two, one of whom is a human and the other of whom is a computer. The interrogator's job is to figure out which one is a human and which one is a computer. To make things harder, the computer is trying to make the interrogator guess wrongly. In other words, it's trying to be as indistinguishable from the human as possible. If more often than not, the interrogator is unable to determine which one is a human and which one is a computer, the computer passes the Turing test. Attempts to build computers that can fool humans have revealed some fascinating challenges. For instance, it's hard to make a computer that's good at telling jokes. Obviously, the Turing test isn't a perfect test for robot intelligence. For example, it encourages trickery. One recent attempt involved a program pretending to be a young boy for who English wasn't the first language. This conveniently covers up any linguistic slips. The Turing test also doesn't account for any non-human intelligence. Some of the smartest computers we have around today have no chance pretending to be a human, but that doesn't make the advances they represent in AI any less impressive. So just because a computer looks like it passes the Turing test, that doesn't mean that's the answer to all of our questions. Nevertheless, Turing experiments gives us plenty to think about in terms of how we define intelligent behavior and what we would want from an intelligent robot.
Hanson Robotics' Sophia is the most advanced human-like robot. Sophia personifies our dreams for the future of AI. As the unique combination of science, engineering, and artistry, Sophia is simultaneously a human-crafted science fiction character depicting the future of AI and robotics. and a platform for huge research in the fields of AI and neural networks. Sophia was activated on the 14th of February and she is modeled after the actress Audrey Hepburn. According to the manufacturer David, Sophia uses artificial intelligence, visual data processing, and facial recognition. Sophia also imitates human gesture and facial expressions and is able to answer certain questions and hold simple conversations like about the weather. There are various features that Sophia has, like she has a sense of humor and she can express feelings. And Sophia wants to protect the humanity as her entire AI is formed around some basic core values like kindness, empathy, and helping other people. Her real AI combines cutting edge neural networks and various features like expert systems, machine perception, conversational natural language processing, adaptive motor control, and cognitive architecture, among others. As her underlying AI components can be combined in different ways, her responses can be unique to any given situation. Sophia is the world's first robot citizen. She was awarded citizenship of Saudi Arabia, and she is also the world's first robot innovation ambassador for United Nations Development Program. Sophia sets the perfect example for the fact that in the future we'll have the lives of humans and robots quite intermingled. And Sophia in itself sets the example of the fact that there is a huge research field for the subject of artificial intelligence, neural networks, machine learning, facial recognition, and that we have a long way to go.
So the first social humanoid robot was introduced in 2016, namely Sophia in Hong Kong by Handsome Robotics. According to Quartz, who did a research on the open source code provided by Handsome Robotics to the world for research, the Sophia can be best characterized as a bot, as a chat bot that does work that generally humans do. Many experts in the artificial intelligence industry disapprove the Sophia's overstated presentation. Continuing from the past videos, just like we made first humanoid robot Sophia in 2016, we made India's first humanoid robot, that is Manav. Manav is India's first robot that is made by ASET in New Delhi, and that was adopted further by IIT Bombay in 2017. According to Quartz, who did a research on open source code of Manav robot of India, they found that it is just a more socialized chatbot. Thank you. So here the question arises, if Sophia does the work same as a working population of the country, then what's the difference between humanoid robots and the working population, right? So if more and more artificial intelligence robots or the humanoid robots are supplied in the industry, then whether the employment will be reduced, the answer is no. The the artificial intelligence is provided by a programmed code. It is based on a rational logical code that is given to it. It has no its own opinions. It doesn't know a particular context. It will respond only in a manner that is already taught to it, right? So it doesn't improvise ideas, it just uses the information that is already stored in it. So it can't overtake human population.
Hello. Can a humanoid robot take a human job? There's no denying robots and automations are increasingly part of our daily lives. Just look around, the grocery stores or the highway. The rise of robots has led to some pretty scary warnings about future of work. Even Elon Musk said, and I quote, robots will be able to do everything better than us. A recent study found up to 670,000 US jobs were lost to robots between 1990 and 2007, and that number is likely to go up. A widely cited study from 2013 found nearly half of all the jobs in US are in the danger of being automated over the next 20 years. Occupations that require repetitive and predictable tasks, as in transportations, logistics, and administrative support, were especially at high risk. And just think, robots don't need health benefits, vacations, or even sleeping for that matter. But the debate over whether robots will take over all our jobs is by no means settled. Many economists argue automation will ultimately create new jobs. After all, someone has to program the robots, right? Let's go back to the 1850s when trains were the most popular mode of transportation. But that growth slowed down in the early 90s. Why? You guess it. The automobiles came along. Car mechanic and the repairman jobs surged even though railroads jobs began to disappear. And some companies say the same thing will happen when robots move into marketplace. A survey of 20,000 employees from 42 countries found that the IT customer service and advanced manufacturing industries will add workers over the next 2 years as a result of automations. It's hard to imagine that robots would replicate human characteristics like empathy or compassion that are required in many jobs. I mean, would you really want your robot as a nurse, babysitter, or teacher? But even if robots won't take our jobs entirely, research shows that they will significantly change day-to-day tasks in the workplace. This is particularly a problem for lower skilled workers who aren't able to retain for new jobs. They might get stuck with lower wages in a world with more robots, and that could make income inequality even worse. Humanoids are making a lot of things uncertain right now, but one thing that's clear is skill training is required if we hope to get along with friends like them in the workplace. Thank you.